Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jack from Boulder, Colorado. We are currently at Canopy Accelerators, which is a cannabis-focused accelerator based in Boulder, Colorado. And we are here with Andrew and Jake from Best in Grow, Big Stamp. Gentlemen, if you could just give me a little idea about what you do, how you came to Canopy, and how they've helped you build your business.
Absolutely. So what we do is help brands and dispensaries in the cannabis space manage their knowledge, figure out exactly what they need to know about their customers, about their products, and about the people who work in their stores to make sure they can increase sales and improve the sticky relationship with their customers, and make sure that every single person who walks into a dispensary gets an incredible cannabis product and an incredible cannabis experience.
So in the same sense of making sure that the products that they're putting in are as potent as they want them to be and what they're paying for and they're getting what they're paying for, et cetera?
Exactly. And a big part of it is that cannabis affects different people very, very differently based on who they are. Things like their age, their weight, their experience with cannabis products can affect the way that a particular edible or smokable makes them feel. And so we want to make sure that every time you get a recommendation from someone who works in a cannabis store or from someone online, it's a good one that takes into account who you are and what your experience is with cannabis, because it's very easy to have a bad experience if you don't know those pieces of information.
Yeah, if you just overdo it without knowing
Exactly.
what you... Yeah, okay. That's really neat. And so how did you all get to Canopy?
Sure, so that's a long story. Do you want to go for it?
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead.
Sure. So Andrew and I met at Harvard. We graduated in 2016. We both went to work in finance and consulting, respectively. Andrew was at Bridgewater Associates, and I was at a small private equity fund in Boston, and we really hated it. It really was not a lot of fun. So we decided, after a year doing that, slaving away in Excel and PowerPoint, that we would come out to beautiful, sunny Boulder, Colorado, and try our hand at the cannabis industry. So at first we were consulting in the space and helping other startups to, prepare their fundraising materials and work on their diligence and, make sure that they're ready for investment. And we really kind of fell in love with Canopy and with the industry. And, we found this idea that we were really excited about, and we decided to forego the consulting and charge full steam ahead with Best and Grow.
Wow, that's really exciting. So
Oh,
do you think that, and now this is based in New York where you were?
So no, we're based out
No,
of
yeah.
Boulder now.
No, I'm saying where you were,
Yeah.
where you basically ran away from.
Yes.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of people here are just like, yeah, we did New York.
Yeah, we're done with that.
We're
It's
done.
good.
So
We're all
it
set.
just seems like a very just communal, cohesive,
Absolutely.
actually naturally supportive industry. Not even industry, just a community here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's the combination of Colorado, which is full of so many open, interesting, happy people. Boulder and Denver are two of the happiest cities in the whole United States. But in addition to that, yeah, the cannabis industry is so new, and there's so much growth and so much space to be had for different people that it's not really about competing. It's more about cooperating. It's about making sure that you're helping the person next to you and making sure that they can succeed to the best of their wildest dreams, because they'll help you in the same way.
And there really is enough room for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what drives that cooperation, which is
Exactly.
really unique in this industry compared to, virtually every other space, in business. Everyone's kind of competing for the same customers because all these industries are pretty much very well established. But in
Right.
cannabis, every day new states and new consumers are coming online. So, there's definitely plenty of room.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so you guys partner with the actual dispensaries itself or the people that create the products?
Both, actually.
Both,
So we
okay.
provide information for both parties about the experience that their consumer has with them. For brands, we're giving them information about how a consumer experiences a product, what they felt, how much they enjoyed it. Whereas with a dispensary, we're not only giving them that information, but also telling them how they enjoyed the experience of the dispensary. Was the bud tender helpful? Did they get all the information they needed? Did they feel pressured to make a purchase? We want to make sure that everyone is having a great, inclusive cannabis experience, because so much of the limitations around the industry are about stigmatization and the feeling that I can't join the cannabis industry, or I can't try cannabis because I'm scared, or I'm worried what people will think, or because I don't understand it. And we want to make sure that everyone feels like they can join the cannabis industry no matter what, that they have all the information they need and they feel safe doing it.
Yeah, you guys should do like one of those, what is it, they do those cute little tests where you pick out of whatever pictures or what you experience or what your ailments might be,
Exactly.
and be like, what's the best, what is it called, strain
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah, so our interest is really in the repeatable products, like
Yeah.
infused manufactured products. I think that people get a little bit confused when it comes to strains and comes to actually smoking cannabis flower, because that is not necessarily a repeatable process.
Exactly.
A piece of cannabis bud from one plant will be very different from another piece, even if it's the same strain or something.
Yeah.
So we want to help expand that information and make sure everyone knows that, you know, your smoking experience could be different from time to time versus your edible experience, which might be more similar.
Very cool. That's really great.
Yeah,
No, well, it seems like you're in the right place, and
Absolutely.
you guys kind of have the right perspective and actually the right technical experience.
Right. Yeah.
Which is really great.
Yeah, our experience, both of us in school studied psychology. I studied behavioral economics. He studied it more from a social public policy perspective.
Cool.
So a lot of our goal and our skill set surrounds that understanding of psychology and how people understand things, how they take in information, and how they make decisions as a result. And we want to make that process as easy as possible for people and as productive as possible.
That's really cool. Now, as part of your work, and in the sense that if, you know, say marijuana medicinally and recreationally became legalized in the entirety of the United States, your business would then just explode.
Yeah.
So, do you guys
Yeah.
do any advocacy? Do you write to your write to senators? Do you write to anybody and say like, hey,
absolutely.
like we're two dudes from Harvard and like we're working in this industry and it's not as scary and bad as you think it is?
Definitely, and I think that, you know, our particular avenue into the industry definitely inspires a lot of confidence in the folks that we talk to, because we are so focused on, you know, the safety aspect and the repeatable experiences, and, you know, kind of destigmatizing cannabis and the entire space and making it more accessible. Because right now, if you go online and search for a cannabis product, you'll probably find some videos of some guy taking a bong rip, and it really only serves to deter would-be consumers. So I think that we're taking a much more user-friendly approach to the space, you know, and I think that definitely is resonating with a lot of the people that we're talking to, particularly people in policy.
Yeah, and to that end, we talk a lot with policymakers, particularly in the regulatory space, trying to figure out how we can make their job smoother, their job easier, as well as with groups like Students for Sensible Drug Policy, who have advocacy all over the United States and are trying to make sure that dangerous drugs like opiates can be replaced by marijuana, and we can start to fight the crisis that is taking over the United States and the world in many ways.
Classic crisis.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible.
I've lost so many people.
Yeah.
So many people.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, and to the fact that I know that in some way, you know, cannabis use really just helps alleviate that stress that they feel while they're trying to work on it, while they're trying to get clean, and it alleviates that, even just cellularly, like that angst that they feel. And it's not, it's hard to explain, but I've seen friends who were almost, I mean, had overdosed multiple times. I've brought people back from overdoses that I didn't even know were using, brought them back, and the only thing that helps them now is very controlled microdosing of CBD.
CBD, exactly. Yeah, there's actually a lot of really exciting research coming out of Israel and a lot of other you know, research entities here in the States that are showing that CBD actually serves as an antagonist to your dopamine receptors. So, you know, there actually is a very, very concrete reason why CBD can actually help people with their withdrawal symptoms and their you know, their agitation.
Which is, I mean, honestly what our country needs right now. It doesn't discriminate. Opiates addiction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't go for one group of people. It's everywhere. Everyone is affected, regardless of where you come from or where you're going. And CBD and cannabis products can and do scientifically help. So we've just got to fight the stigma and, you know, kind of trust in the fact that technical dudes like you are, you know, saying like, no, this really truly does work. It works. There's a business model for it. There's scalability. There's federal regulation that can bring in tons, if not trillions of dollars. I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, thanks so much for being here with me
Thanks
today.
for having us.
Yeah, please check us out at thebigstamp.com. You know,
spell it out.
So it's the best in grow stamp, but thebigstamp.com.
thebigstamp.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here with us. And we please tune in later for more information and interviews from Boulder.